Hi ladies, this is Veronica Garbarino back from Mulligan Hill, New Jersey. We are in week 4 of the Real Women of Philadelphia competition, and it is dessert week, and we are here using the original Philadelphia cream cheese this week. Today I'm making for you my Mother Marie's Philadelphia baked candy apples that are out of this world, and I'm really hoping that you try this. I actually did this last year. I'm going to do it again because it's that good. So let's get started. So for my Mother Marie's Philadelphia candy baked apples, you're going to need fluff or apple. Use whatever baking apple you prefer. That's your choice. I'm going to use honey, and if you can't get it out of the jar, just put it in the microwave for about 15 seconds and it'll come right out. Today we're going with the original Philadelphia cream cheese, and that's 8 ounces. I left it out so it's room temperature. Cinnamon, cayenne pepper. You're also going to need ounces, a stick of butter, room temperature, heavy cream, brown sugar, pecans, you could use walnuts, whatever nut you prefer. So let's begin. It's very simple, not a lot of ingredients. I want you to put your oven on 375 before we get started. So first what you want to do is blend your cream cheese. Your honey, teaspoon of cinnamon. You're also going to need a half a cup of fluff. So here we have our room temperature cream cheese, cinnamon and fluff, and our honey. So now we're going to blend that together. Go ahead and scrape this down. Scrape down the sides so you get everything well blended together. And let's mix again. Okay, so that's nice and mixed together. So go ahead and put that into a bowl. Oh, this is so good. Okay, now just set that aside. And lick your spatula, do not waste. For your apples, I want you to, if you don't have this, I didn't have this last year when I first made this recipe. I just cut them out and cored them out with a spoon. Now, I'm going to try my best to core the middle out. It's probably not going to be perfect. It never is. See how we do. Oh, not bad. And then cut them in half. So you could take a spoon and get the rest out. You don't have to core this a lot because once it starts to cook, it'll get... Oh my God. Now do this until all 4 apples are cored out and cut in half. Cored out 4 apples. If you have these sitting out for a long time, you can put them in some water with some lemon juice, but we're using them right away, so there's really no need. Just get that hard center out. So now that you have your apples cored out and ready to go, I want you to just place randomly your butter all around the pan that you're going to put your apples in. And what's going to happen is these are going to melt down underneath the apples and they won't stick. I did this plenty of times and they'll be just fine. So next, take your apples and stuff them. About a tablespoon of the cream cheese mixture and just place them in the pan. Now I cook these for 15 to 20 minutes. I like an apple al dente, a little bit soft. I don't like mush and I'm not looking for an apple sauce, so that's your preference. So here is the finished product before we go and place these in the oven. Set your timer to 20 minutes and just check by 15 minutes and then we'll go from there. Okay, so while we're waiting for the apples, which are almost done, start your caramel sauce. So over medium-high heat, place 4 tablespoons of butter and get that melted. Okay, so cook your butter for at least a minute. You want to cook the water out and evaporate it. So now we're going ahead and adding a cup of dark brown sugar. Let that melt down. And this is going to be the beginning to our caramel sauce, which is going to be so lovely. Okay, so now that our brown sugar and butter has melted down nicely, go ahead and add your pecans. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the heavy cream. So now go ahead and add the heavy cream. It's 1 cup. Put it in slowly and keep stirring or whisking around. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add, and you don't have to do this, this is optional, but I find that a little heat with sugar, anything sweet, it goes together really well. So this is 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and add that while it's in the boiling stage. And whisk. See how simple? Come look. Now, lower the heat to like a medium-low, and you could just leave this alone and let it thicken up for a few minutes. You see this consistency? This cooked for about 10 minutes over medium-low heat, and now I'm going to get ready to plate these up. Which one do I want? Smells good. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about this apple. I lost my mom about 20 years ago, and I miss her dearly. But she used to make some kick-butt desserts. And this was one of them that I remember, especially at Thanksgiving. And she would hook this up so good, and she always used the Philadelphia cream cheese. Remember it like it was yesterday. It's a little hot. Oh my God. It's incredible. No, I'm not just playing. You really have to do this. It's just like so good. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Philly.